Hi, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Chisa, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about our packet, our new packet. This is the week 2 packet, and I would like to start with the reading and the writing portion. So this week, the story is Important People, and um, there are some vocabulary words I wanted to talk about for the important people. The first one they talked about in the story is leader. And a leader is a person who directs or guides others or who has the most power in a group. Another vocabulary word that was brought up for this reading is responsibility. And responsibility is a noun, and it says the condition or fact of being accountable, especially for assigned tasks or duties. So we talk about responsibility a lot with our pride motto, and being responsible might be for a third grader to have their pencil or their paper and they're ready to work. So your assigned duty might be to be prepared or have all the things you need, or to finish your work, your homework, your classwork, your packet, whatever that might be. Another vocabulary word is run, and this is a verb in the story, and it is to make yourself go forward with your legs really quickly. And I think a lot of you know what run means. In the packet, there are also some questions, and we talked last week about highlighting the evidence. Third grade is all about evidence, finding the reason or the evidence behind your answer. And so the same falls for this. Once you read the question, kind of go back, see if you can highlight the evidence from the packet. If you are not able to pick the packets up, you can find them online. I've sent them out through the Remind app with a link. They are on the GISD website, and I've also placed them in my Google Classroom, which all students have access to, which is here. I wanted to remind you that your student accesses this through Google. This is a Google platform. And they go to Google Classroom, and then they can type and get in with their first dot last name at students.mountmoreschools.org. Password is this part here, MTMR, with your student ID. The students have been doing that quite a bit in the school, so most of them are, if they've been there all year, they pretty much know how to get around in there. And I did put these packets inside of there also. So they are downloaded on that website. The students can access them. So there are really a lot of ways to get these packets. You can pick them up if you're able to get out. You could just look at them digitally if you can't print them off, and then you could just write the answers on paper. So back to our regular packet. Once you answer the questions, this is just like last week's, very similar. You get to the writing portion down here. Please make sure that you're using full sentences. Have an adult check you, boys and girls, to make sure that your work is correct. Have the adults check to make sure that you've used capital letters where they belong and full sentences. Remember, it has to make sense. If I'm going to answer a question, let's say, what are some of the mayor's responsibilities? That was one of our vocabulary words. You might say, some of the mayor's responsibilities are, and then kind of list them. That's another example you could go back in the packet to highlight. Okay, so for the writing section this week, if I scroll down to the writing, the prompt says, what makes the best pet? Provide evidence for your choice. I just want to remind you, boys and girls, of writing with a good, strong hook. Answer the question that is there, and then provide evidence for your choice. So give samples. You could use a mini story like we've practiced in class. I think this pet makes the best pet. I feel that way because, and then tell why. Don't just list the evidence, but maybe add some of your internal thinking, or add a mini story. One time, my leopard gecko did this, this, and this. I knew my leopard gecko was going to be the best pet because, and then your evidence. Also, don't forget that you have to have a strong closing, and the best thing for this is to do this on lined paper if you have it. if you have it available. Take a snapshot of it and send it to me. Have your family email it to me or send it to me. I would be excited to see them. I'm going to come back to the math portion in a different in a different one. I'll talk a little bit about this in a little while. The other thing I wanted to point out to you is that we've been lucky enough to gain access to brainpop. brainpop is really cool, and I've linked a way for you to get that in your Remind app, and I've also linked it in our Google Classroom. Here's our Google Classroom, and if I scroll down, you can see that I've linked the free brainpop account information, and then I've downloaded the directions. So once you're in there, you can get that. If you're unable to get into your Google Classroom, again, I've sent it on the Remind app too. Let's go back to brainpop. Once you get into brainpop, you have access to literally tons of material. And this is pretty exciting. So I would like to see if you guys could kind of get in there. Let me know how that goes.
Butterflies.
Here's a sample of one. And then you click on these, and you can play quizzes. You can watch
Hard quiz.
videos that go with it.
Belly.
A lot of different things you can do under this brainpop. So it's definitely worth going through and getting in. I'll also see if I need to actually assign things to you, or if the kids can just kind of peruse around and see. There's different kinds. We have brainpop junior and then regular brainpop as well. The final thing I kind of wanted to talk about is the YouTube. Please try to go to YouTube and let me see if I can go to my YouTube. Go to YouTube and get in here. And try and subscribe to this channel. I'm dropping all of my videos and things on here that you can get to. Also, you'll notice that I've put the other teachers on the side here. So all of the other teachers in the district are also over here, and you can just get to their page just like my page. So let's say you're having trouble understanding my my packet information. All of the third grade teachers have the same packet, so you could even kind of go around and see what they have to say about the same packets. Mrs. Galbraith is in here. She's doing the gym things. And then Mrs. Short is in here also. And her music stuff will be in here too. So boys and girls, just know that I miss you. And I know this is a lot of information. And I will keep downloading things on YouTube because it seems to be the best way for me to put a lot of information out with visuals. Miss you guys. Love you guys. Talk to you later.